What's up, guys? So we are in Genesis 4. We're going to go from 1 to 7, I believe. Yes, 1 through 7. 4, 1 through 7. That's what we are going to do here. So, that's where we're going to go. So, we're going to start at 4. Here we go. 4:1. Sorry. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. So her first kid was a man, and their second kid was also a man. And a lot of people think that's the only kids they had was 2. And if that was the case, because the Old Testament's way different than the New Testament, if that was the case, that would be the end of the bloodline. That would be it. But later on in the Bible, it tells you that Adam had multiple boys and girls. It's in the Bible. You can find it. I don't know what verse it is, but it's definitely in here. I've definitely read it. Because I always thought, how can the bloodline have went on from Cain and his brother if they were the end of the bloodline? And they would be, if there was no sisters. But the Old Testament's different, guys. So Cain and his brother, which one of them die, we'll get to that story eventually, had to be with their sisters to make more of a bloodline, because there was nobody else at the time in the Old Testament. They started the world in a way that's wrong now by the way of the New Testament. But anyways, let's go on. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel he also brought of a firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respected unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had no respect, and Cain was very roughed. WROTH, and has countenanced fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, Why are thy worth? I'm gonna definitely have to look that word up, but I think it's worth. And why is thy countenance falling? If thy doesn't well, shall thy not be accepted? And if thy does not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shall rule over him. This is where we're gonna get into it in the next video. I'm pretty sure it's like pretty fast right after that the first death, yes, the very first death in the Bible happens right after that. We get the very first, we just had the very first sin a couple pages ago, and now we're going to get to the first death, because because Cain wasn't happy with what happened. And we're going to get to that in the next video, guys. Wow. And even thinking about it, like, there's so many things that Adam and Eve and their kids and their bloodline did so wrong but was for us to understand not to do that. They did things wrong, multiple, and we all fall short of the glory of God, and we all sin all the time. But Adam and Eve's family show us they did it first. And basically, their stories tell us how we should not do it. And tomorrow's story is one of the... Well, there's sad stories all the way through the Bible. There's lots of them. But this is the first really sad story in the Bible. And we'll get to that tomorrow, guys. Like, comment, and share, and we'll see you tomorrow.